Hey everyone, it's Mindy Hahne, the Midwest premier sports handicapper, coming to you from TonySpix.com and the half of the morning show duo, The Morning Steam with Ramon Scott. But hope you enjoy this free pick video from our show. Be sure to click in the link in the description for our best bets. Now here is the pick.
That in Super Bowl 57, the Eagles are now a 1-point favorite against the Chiefs. Mindy, the Eagles probably took that steam a little bit early. And, there's not a lot of widely reported steam when it comes to the Super Bowl. It's pretty hard to move the needle, but usually it's just the public moving it a little bit. So we did see a few props out there and few numbers coming in, but go ahead and type in all your props right now, you guys, and we'll talk about them. Mindy will get started. I'm not putting you on the spot, Mindy. Look, you are a Chiefs fan, so that's a disclaimer.
Right.
But
I don't think it's going to be any surprise here of who I want to win and who I think will win today. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the total. That's exciting. I mean, everyone kind of has their plays out there, as you can tell. There's, you either have already probably made your mind up here on the Eagles or on the Chiefs, but maybe you haven't made your mind up on the total yet. We have some that are coming in here a little bit. But, kind of how I see this is that both of these quarterbacks here, they're a little bit banged up. The Chiefs, wide receivers also a little bit banged up. The last 7 playoff games have gone to the under this season. And that's where I'm going to be looking here today, Ramon. The Chiefs only basically ran, 38% of the time this season. It's like the 8th lowest, right? And the Eagles are kind of susceptible here to the run this season. So I kind of think that this might be a little bit of banged up Mahomes. And so I think we might see a lot more running here with the ball today. The Eagles' run defense is 21st in adjusted yards, and the Chiefs' offensive line actually ranks 3rd. I think this script for the Eagles is going to be something similar to how the Buccaneers took down the Chiefs. I think if you're going to look at a way to beat the Chiefs, this is how you're going to go. And if you took a look at that, all they did is put pressure on Mahomes. They sacked him, I think, almost like 10 times, 4 times. Maybe it was like hurried or knocked down about 10 times. So I think the Eagles will have to put pressure on Mahomes, and they'll have to go ahead and double team Kelsey. So basically what that does is if you take a look at, where the Eagles have been in adjusted sack rating, they're first, right, with 70. And the Chiefs, though, they're 6th in adjusted, sack rate as well. So the Chiefs may be able to get some pressure on this quarterback here today, Mr. Jalen. So I just think that this one here is might be a little bit slow, might be a little bit methodical. Eagles only allow 10 points on defense here throughout the playoffs. Chiefs 17. Chiefs have now won, though, 10 in a row versus the NFC. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm excited. I definitely think it's going to be close. I don't really expect a rout either way in this game. I kind of think sometimes it might go to who has the ball last. So yeah, I'll be taking the under in this one here today, Ramon.
Hold on a minute. So I'm here on this show. I don't have any idea who you think is going to win this game.
Right. So you have no idea who you think I'm going to win.
Boy,
maybe the team that has, the toughest strength of schedule versus the team that has the lowest strength of schedule, and the team that had to beat, I don't know, maybe a 4th-string quarterback and Daniel Jones. All
right. Well, I was hoping to make it, a consensus play here on the Super Bowl because, Angel says, who is Mindy rooting for? I wonder.
I don't know. Who could it be?
Well,
I do think it's going to be something like a 42-46 game. That's kind of where I'm thinking this one's going to land today, Ramon.
Yeah, total points, 42 to
Correct.
between 42 and 46 points. Yeah, I mean, it's a pro football game, so I like the under in this one. I mean, I definitely agree. Probably should land, 47. Obviously, could, you know, end up close enough, and what could get to 52. Who knows, right? In a situation like this, Super Bowls always seem to play out a little bit longer in a way, but again, what about all those, all the talk about the Eagles and that great pass rush that they have this season, and they have been awesome. So they could put pressure uh, on Mahomes here a little bit. I like it under as well. I'll be taking the under. So Mindy and I do have a premium consensus in the Super Bowl for this one. So we will be going under. I think that the Eagles will have massive problems running the ball against the Chiefs, believe it or not. Uh, Look, I don't think any team's going to be running the ball, but yet they're not big. To me, they're not explosive passing teams. Um, More possessiony. I feel like, is that a word? I can't. That's
Yeah,
not even
I think so.
a word. But I don't think Brown is a home run hitter. Okay, I don't think um, you know, Juju's a home run hitter. I don't think Valdez Scantling's gonna have a rough time of it. I would think today. So to me, I do like all. I like Hertz's props over. Um, I think he will have success. I don't think I like all the running props for the Eagles under. I'm not liking their running game here today. Daniel Treshel says, well, "Look at this. He's got a Kelsey for a monster game."
I hope.
Uh, Look, the logic being the Chiefs win, Mahomes gets the MVP. But watch out if Kelsey could get the big TD. He could get multiple TDs, and that could give him the most valuable player. Quarterbacks usually win it. So TJ going, I don't know what contrarian is here on this game necessarily. I mean, I don't know. It feels like the action is pretty well split. They are saying maybe the Eagles are taking about 60% of the action here. So appreciate everyone's comments. The other prop that I think I do like in this, yeah, and Kadarius Toney. Don't forget, if there's anybody that is a little bit banged up, I mean, he's probably the most notable of the injured players in this one. Mindy, um, I, let's see what his status actually is. I'm sure he's in the game, right, Mindy? But he's been the only one. Uh,
Well, Miko Hardman's the only one
Hardman, sure. Hardman also. Yeah,
that's ruled
Hardman.
out. So
Yeah, and that's significant. I'd say a
sure.
significant injury because we waited for him to come back and get back into the lineup. But yeah, definitely a concern there. So Tony probable today. Schuster's on that injured list as well. So. All right, Mindy, I'm on the over with you. Also,
The under.
on the under, right? Let's make sure we get it right here.
All right. Sounds good. I'm excited. I think it should be a good one. I'm no matter how it goes, I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. Should be exciting for all football fans. Or even maybe if you're not a football fan. I don't know.
Matt D, defense to score first TD. Could happen, I would guess.
Sure.
All right. So yeah, and I do like. So I like Hurts. I like it. I like AJ Brown. I think they can have success. I also think Devontae Smith can have success. But I think in the end, for me, Mindy, the under is the way to go. Like I said, one of the first things I said out of the gate, we talked about the line on that first show on that Monday after we knew, is that it just looked to be one score too much, considering what the defenses have done of late. I know it's a Super Bowl, everything's magnified. Maximize the time, take every um, Daniels. Will there be a safety? And one thing I always noted, like to me, when I'm watching a football game, this is just a generality, but uh, when I see a safety in a game, especially early in the game, I immediately bet the under live in game. I think the defenses are dominating this game, so unless it's some fluky safety. Remember, Tom Brady famously got a safety on the first play of the game, right? Wasn't it Tom that uh, had an intentional grounding from the end zone?
Oh
The
yeah.
first plays of the game, it was a safety 2-0, just like that. So yeah, and here's another one prop shortest TD under. Uh, so Kelsey likely to get into the end zone, right? He's chalk, but he's really good chalk. I mean, it's almost like not necessarily poor odds
Right.
considering that he's favored. But the other one is for me is Jalen Hurts. To get a touchdown, they are so good on that sneak. I talked about Brady, and he's the greatest quarterback sneaker of all time. But the Eagles have really perfected that goal
Now they
line
have.
push play that they've done um, several times this uh, year. That and they used like they'd say, "Oh, you can't push the guy anymore. You shouldn't be able to do that." Well, it's football. I think you should be able to push your own guy.
Why not?
Stop him.
It's all name of the game. It's similar to what rugby, right?
Max Newman's on the Hurts anytime TD. So, all right, I want to see if I get just a few more props on Super Bowl discussion before we move on. But our official play here, Mindy, is we'll be
Consensus play number
our
one.
official consensus play is on the under, and make sure you buy Mindy's Super Bowl winner today because you don't know who she wants, and I
That's
want
right.
you guys. Well, she's the hottest handicapper, one of the hottest handicappers on the internet, and uh, we want to know who's going to win the game. So make sure we buy Mindy's premium pick on the Super Bowl to see who she thinks will win this game. She'll probably, yep, yep. Well, not percent better. Percent better is not betting this. He never bets the Super Bowl. And I'm like opposite. I mean, I get it. Tony was saying it. I think it's a popular comment. Like the hype, and let's get on with it already. But I think the Super Bowl's great, and I'm not a big props player, and I'll be playing props all over the place.
As I said, I never play any of the props, and I'm like, well, I'm in on a couple, so sure, why not, right?
I do like live betting the Super Bowl to a certain. I try to get that little middle village, if you will. Try to go a little back and forth. Hey, Demetrius Crandall's here today. Great
Nice.
to have Demetrius.
Yeah. So here's the script, Ramon. So this is why everyone's been
Yes. Oh
betting
yeah,
that
you did get a
30.
copy of the script.
Yeah, this is why everyone's betting the 37-34 end game. 37 for the Eagles, 34 for the Chiefs. So it has the Chiefs going up by 10. Then it is a 13-24 game there in the second. Then the Eagles score 11 in the third. And then, then they just go lights out there in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, so that's why they have it a 34-37 total. And everyone's been betting that. So it started out at like minus or like plus 400 odds. And I think it's down to like what, even money now because everyone's betting that script score. So
I like finding the exact score. I usually try to do exact score prop a little bit.
so they had someone that bet what? Like the Eagles exact team score is 4 for like millions of dollars. It was crazy.
Well, and I saw one particular, like one analyst, like a pretty much an expert analyst on one of the major uh, shows, if you will. It's a news gambling kind of show, and he says, "Oh, I've got Patrick Mahomes throwing 4 touchdowns, and my prediction is 33-30 Chiefs. And I'm like, this man's an expert, supposed to be one of the experts, a gambling expert. Okay, I get it. Maybe they miss an extra point and they kick 2 field goal. I get it, but 33, that doesn't. To me, I don't know if I try to make myself look a little bit like I,
Like
he's going to throw 4 touchdowns, but they're going to score 33 points. Like, I'm totally predicting they're going to miss an extra point and make 2 field goals to get to 33. So I don't know. It's certainly possible. How about scoregami? I did see maybe a prop. I didn't see what the odds were, but that maybe there would be a scoregami in the Super Bowl. So I don't know what realistic numbers are left. We're running out of scoregamis, I think. So Scotch says Hurts under in passing yards. You look at Hurts's numbers, very efficient, but again, not right. What at 5.8 per. So like I said, just not explosive. And Matt's got 0 and 3. Matt, are you playing the community squares or did you pick the ones? Because everyone does. Do you do community squares at your party, Mindy?
Yeah, well, my niece that plays, softball. Her softball team did, a big one. Everyone gets, a square, and then we usually just draw the 1 through 10, and that's who we have for our pool. So pretty easy.
Because one sports book, and I think a few have started to follow, but they've kind of broken it down where you don't have to, because like it sucks to go to a party, right, and get stuck with 2 and 9.
Yeah.
And 5 and stuff, right? So that based on the results of all football games in the history of football, they've kind of positioned it where you can take Super Bowl squares with true odds. So if you wanted 3-0, 7-3, 7-4, you could do that, and you just don't get as good of a payout, but you can take it like as a prop in a way.
Yeah, and I did see that there is bingo today free on one of the apps as well. So it's you can play that and you get a free prize when you win. So it's going to be like if there's an interception, a touchdown, 10 yards, like pretty easy stuff to get. So
well, that's what I was going to do with us if we had like an online virtual party, but I couldn't get it together in time. We just got the Discord started recently, and everyone wants to enjoy they don't want 4 hours of Ramon talking about Super Bowl when the Super Bowl is going on. I'll just be by myself eating my lasagna in front of a giant screen and watching another Super Bowl go by. There's not going to be anybody telling me to turn on a movie at halftime. We'll be watching it all the way through. If anybody doesn't have anything else, we're going to move on. Eagles and Chiefs under the official play. Kelsey anytime, like Hurts anytime, and over props on. I do like over props.
Did you find any of the alternate ones, the weird ones, like if there's going to be a streaker or an octopus or something like that?
There are a lot. Some of those, like, it's really weird. Like we were talking about the Gatorade color earlier. Sometimes clear water looks like blue sometimes, and I don't know. That's always kind of weird, right? The color of the Gatorade, the time of the national anthem, the standard ones, So saw someone mention over in the national anthem, and the leak came out. I believe the leak came out under, right? But I don't, sometimes that changes. So
it'll probably be a push.
All right, everybody, enjoy the game. Mindy and I will take the under, and again, you'll have to buy Mindy's pick, apparently, if you want to know who she likes, and me too. I'll have my premium pick today in the Eagles versus the Chiefs. You see, I don't have any green on. I don't have any red on. if you've watched the show, I won't even go any further into it. But if you've watched the show, I um, think people might know who I'm on if you're a regular to the show. And again, uh, I'd like to know more about what you guys like. You guys put a lot of good props in there, and some of you put the wins and the loss. Who you guys like as well. But I don't know if I got a full. I didn't really see a lot of, I thought that we were just seeing mostly props in there. I don't know if we even saw a lot of people saying Chiefs, Eagles, over, under. So enjoy the game, everybody.
Right.
That's it. Right, Dave? Thank you.
See, I just need like a full-time hairstylist, then I wouldn't have to, you know,
Yes, me too.
put a hat on.
Obviously, I could use, you
Because there
know,
ain't no way I'm getting up and doing my hair in the morning. I'm way too lazy for that. Come on now.
Daniel's got his plays. All
All right.
right.
Should be a good one, folks. I'm excited. So thanks for watching, and make sure you get over to the Tony'sPicks.com website right now and check out our All Cappers tab where you can purchase some of our own personal picks. And be sure to go ahead and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. Okay, have fun. Watch another video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.